Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Toon Review. Just so I pay a little bit of homage there to little Jordan Pickford and micro arms in celebration. There was a little trying to get the ball out of the back of the net, and Kieran Trippier whipping one past him with such quality. Listen, 3-1. Who got the score right, Danielle? I have to ask.
You did.
We'll come on to players' performances and stuff like that shortly. But what an atmosphere! What a win!
I've just recovered like an hour ago from last night. It was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Atmosphere was second to none. The team just really fought for it the whole game. Everybody had a good game. I'm not going to be negative or anything about anyone in that team. It was just a brilliant atmosphere, and I just feel like the season's just started now, and I feel like we're really going to put up a fight at this. Mm-hmm. Just a fantastic evening, great company. It was brilliant all night.
Stato, obviously you were very impressed with the performance. I mean, it makes such a nice change, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. There's not much in terms of negatives to talk about. There's just a little bit, but it's just most of it's positive, which is a lovely change and a lovely problem to have. That we don't have enough time, and I don't have enough time to put stats on all the good players and all the good things because there's just so many of them, which is great. It's a lovely problem to have.
Louis says, I think I went a bit crazy in my celebration after Trippier's outrageous free kick. I mean, a lot of people went crazy last night, to be honest, when that free kick went in, including me. I had somebody in a headlock. I don't know who it was, but at the end of the day, there were so many limbs going around at the Leazes yesterday.
And I got punched.
Danielle got punched in a nice way. Just obviously, nothing nasty. It was just somebody decided to punch Danielle in celebration, which we know that the late great Dave Harrison was a fan of.
Absolutely.
Obviously punching me all the time. But that's what he was. Just an absolute brilliant night. We'll look at some individual performances because there's a lot of people still saying that a few players still not at their best or a few at their best, and we'll start off with the one that's dividing all opinion, which is Chris Wood. Now, I heard Barry say last night, I know, Alex, you were on his channel last night for the sort of the full-time show that he did, and I heard Barry say that, would we have won the games that we have without Chris Wood in the team? He seems to think we wouldn't have. I say, yes, we would have won them games without Chris Wood because he wasn't really responsible for any of the goals that we've scored since he's been in the side. Now, listen, I'm not faulting Chris Wood's effort last night because I thought his effort was fantastic. He ran his heart out like the rest of them did. But it's just, he doesn't seem to be able to hold the ball up, Alex, which is a little disappointing given that, but then again, on the flip side, he's got nobody to flick the ball onto because really either side of him, they're not forwards. Should they be reading the flick-ons better? I don't know.
It's a funny one. So I've been swayed slightly. I've watched a few statistical analysis of Wood and why he's in the side and playing like he is. And it swayed me a tiny bit. Some people have pointed out to the fact that there's a reason why Joelinton's still in the side, and there's a reason why he occupies that left space is because Trippier can aim at him and Wood together. And if things, if they can keep it, you can progress down that left side through Maxi. And they were trying that, as we saw. It helped to stretch the pitch because we have our right back that can play worldy passes, which not many teams have that. So the fact that we can play it to the right back and we can have Wood, Joelinton, Maxi all stood left wing and play that switch, and it worked kind of. It gave us the space for some of the setups for I think it was Fraser's goal was from pressure up there, but it's all part of the same process. So if you look at him directly as his individual performances, he's not flicking onto people, he's not holding the ball up, but in terms of what he's bringing to the team, stretching the team, and the whole idea of Trippier switching it, that's working. It'd just be nice if he could also add a bit of his own something to
Listen,
the
I hope he
games.
comes good. I really do, because everything, the team seems so together. I mean, when we scored the goals last night, they were celebrating for a couple of minutes, just literally in a ball. They were just sort of tightly knit, and it was fantastic to see. So, as far as I'm concerned, I want Chris Wood to come good. And, I think he just needs to just maybe start learning the role he's got now, which it doesn't involve him playing off another forward at the moment. And that's the way we're playing, because, talking to a few after the game last night, it seems like, he's expecting sort of somebody there alongside him, like Ashley Barnes was at Burnley, but that's not going to happen now. And it's just got to take a bit of time for him to learn that role, Danielle.
Yeah, well, of course it will. I thought he played all right yesterday. Yeah. I thought he played better. I thought, to me, at the stage we're at now, I don't care who scores the goals. I really couldn't give two hoots who scores the goals. So, hey, look, I thought he was a presence at times in the game. I thought the Everton defenders struggled a little bit with him at times in terms of his size. Wasn't bothered. I think, you know what, if we get through and we stay up, then let's look at other kind of striking options in the summer. But yeah, I thought he had an okay game. I thought everyone did.
What did you think of the lineup, Alex, when the lineup came out? What were you initially thinking?
I mean, it didn't surprise me too much. It would have been, again, we all would have started Bruno, but we're not football managers. We're not experts. We're just, we're passionate fans, and he stuck to the concept I've just described. He's got a plan. The lads know how it works, and he didn't want to change too much too quickly. Yeah. Obviously, he brought Target straight in, and he took to that like a duck to water. Instantly knew exactly what the role was, and he's very familiar with that idea, having played behind what's his face, Grealish, for so long in the left wing for Villa. So he's we've accidentally just sort of stumbled across a nice tidy free loan there of somebody who knows exactly what is expected in that left back role. We've not had to pay for him, so. It's perfect. Bruno, he got on at the end, and again,
when he came on, that noise was incredible. I mean, the game was won. There was only a couple of minutes to go, injury time, and he came on, and his stats for the 6 or so minutes that he was on the pitch were quite incredible, to be honest. There was a few little touches, the back heel in the corner to his pal Joelinton when he thought he was going to, just hold it up in the corner, and then two Everton defenders were like, what the hell just happened there? And you could see when he was warming up, I was looking at him, and he was just standing looking at Eddie Howe and Jason to say, come on, get us on the pitch. I want to play a part in this, even if it's just for a minute. And the roar when he came on was just incredible. The atmosphere in that ground last night, though, was just ace from start to finish, and it it reminded me of the good times again. The fact that there wasn't many quiet moments in that match where the crowd just the players entertained us last night, and that's what it's all about. Now, our number 10. I've received quite a lot of messages saying that I didn't mention him in my very quick sort of instant reaction last night. I didn't really, because I was absolutely buzzing, and I really can't remember what the hell I said, if I'm openly honest. But, it was just a quick get in, we've won the game kind of thing, and just putting it out there that it was a great performance. And listen, I've been very hard on Maxi, and I think a lot of people have. But at the same time, you have to give credit where credit is due. Now, do I still think Maxi needs to work on his final third stuff? Yes, I do. However, he was bloody fantastic last night, and that's what I want to see from Maxi moving forward. He was passing the ball, he was running at defenders, and like Frank Lampard said, he was pretty much unplayable last night. And that's the consistency now that we need to see from Maxi. He played Joelinton in the first half, where, Little Arms made a decent save with his legs, funny enough. But he was creating a lot of opportunities last night. And Alex, I mean, he was breathtaking last night.
Yeah, so those comments about Ballon d'Or suddenly don't sound so silly anymore, because he's the most successful dribbler in the Premier League by an absolute country mile. he's got the highest average dribbles per game. Successful dribbles is 5. He's averaging 5 per game. Last night he got 10. So he's doubled what is already an exceptional statistic. The man is an absolute monster. And this is why for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, I've said, no, he's our best player. He's 100% our best player. As we add quality and we improve as a squad, he will get more space and he will start to learn about... I mean, it was a 50-50. We did say hopefully he does improve his decision-making and his passing, and he is doing. You've got to keep him in the squad. He's Champions League quality. If he keeps... There is absolutely no reason why he couldn't be 20-plus goal contributions per season playing like that. Against, granted it was against Coleman, which a lot of us talked about the game. We wanted him to line up against Coleman because that's a mismatch. And yeah, I mean, it wasn't too bad when Mina was on the pitch because Mina was all over him and the ref wasn't blowing for it. But after that, Maxi was just completely unplayable, as everybody, and even if Lampard says that, then it's no joke. And last night, I think he could have had anywhere between 3 and 5 assists if people could finish. That man should be on 15 goal contributions this season, not 8, because he's an absolute machine, and he will stay in this squad as we climb up. And yeah, we don't need to go and buy a left winger at all. He could be the guy for a very long time. Yes, he is at that level.
Danielle, I mean, he was brilliant. When he got the ball last night, there was something, just you expected something to happen, and that's what we love to see from Maxi, isn't it? Just something, expectancy to happen, just wanting him to do well. And last night he just combined so well with everybody else on the pitch. He
did. It was magic the whole time that he was on the ball. There was at the beginning I was a little bit nervous as to what Maxi would turn up, but I think he was switched on right from the goal. And he was up for it, and you could tell he was running for everything. He was communicating with the other players. He even passed a few times, and I was like, he's learning. Less selfish behaviour as well on the ball, which was good to see. No, I thought he was great last night. Absolute magic. And I take back what I said, that we should sell him, because I don't think we should. I was just in the mood.
People haven't got enough money to pay what we'd want for him after that.
No, definitely not. And let's hope long may it continue, and let's keep him fit. Let's hope he doesn't get injured, because we relied on him last night. He was really, really good.
Yeah. Brian says Willock is way off Premiership standards. Now, listen, I thought Willock was quiet in the first half, that's one player that I have really hammered this season. Second half, much better, much better. He seemed to gain some confidence with a few runs, and then he started making those runs into the box. He was going out wide. He was taking players on. He's still got a lot of work to do for me to be up there to the standard that he was originally, but that was better. And if he can continue that, Alex, he'll be going places, because that was better from Willock. And I think he knows we've signed Bruno, and whether that's been his inspiration to pull the finger out the arse, maybe it is. But that's what we want. When we start signing players, we want the rest of them kicked up the arse and tell them they've got to do better.
Yeah, well, potentially, yeah. I mean, system-wise, as we've looked into our midfield more and more and more in the recent weeks, because of Joelinton moving into there, it's all very complicated. We've got Shelvey, who's slower and older, but has improved his fitness. It's a conundrum. But Willock, I don't think he's at threat of being dropped for Bruno specifically, because he's being played as a box-to-box role, and I don't think he would have to change the system completely, because if he swapped him for Willock for Bruno, we've all of a sudden got 2 8s, and then Joelinton up kind of as a 10. Which is a big change from what he's trying to do right now with this whole overload, and then get it on the left to Maxi. So the issue, I really I'm so proud of Shelvey's improvements, mentality. He's not messing about. He's not getting silly cards. I don't even care about the yellow card last night. That everybody,
listen, that,
if you had the chance to do that again,
card. That was just a strong tackle. It was.
If you gave him the choice to do that tackle again, I think he would make the same tackle again, because I think it's the right tackle.
But if that was say Kante or somebody else making that tackle, that wasn't a yellow card. No way.
He got the ball.
It's just because it was John Joe Shelvey.
But I think I think Bruno has to go in for Shelvey, in my opinion. I'm so proud I'm so proud of Shelvey. He's done amazing. He's improved in every part of the pitch. Leadership, stamina. He's better when he's getting pressured. He keeps the ball. There was one back pass yesterday which people hammered him for. I mean, it was one back pass. He's improved so much, and I don't want to drop him, but we've got to get Bruno on the pitch.
So
we've
you
got
keep
to,
Willock in ahead of Bruno
because of the
Willock ahead of Shelvey.
Because of the system, yeah. Because of the system he's trying to play. Bruno would sit. Willock's going to go up and down. But with the question you originally asked, Willock has to do that for 90 minutes. He can't just keep switching this on for the final 30 to 35 minutes.
Yeah, he was a passenger first half. He really was.
He was. I was really worried about what was going to happen second half if he didn't wake up. But
the first 10 minutes of the second half, he was fouling him. He couldn't win the ball. He was a wreck. And then all of a sudden, it just clicked, and he was everywhere. He was a monster. So if we can get, he doesn't have to be quite that good, but if he can get a standard ball-winning midfielder's performance, and go up and down, then yeah, I'll keep him in. He's earned another chance because he's done this 2 games in a row now, but he needs to do it for 90 minutes, not for 30.
He does. Stephen Fraser, thank you so much for the £100 super chat, matey. That is very, very kind of you. Again, a fantastic donator to the Toon Review channel, and forever in graciousness. Bow down to you, my man. Thank you so much for that. Really, really kind donation. If you do enjoy the show tonight, guys, please don't forget to hit the like button for us. At the point of going live tonight, we were 29 away from 9,000, which is incredible. We've had a real boom of subscribers again. So please, 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 if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, please consider subscribing, because once we hit that 9K, then the next step is the big 10, which is something that when I started the channel, I never, ever thought would get to those sort of levels. But if we can, then that'll be absolutely incredible. So you can become a member as well if you hit that join button, or it's down. The link is in the description as well. And obviously you can super chat like the very kind Stephen has already done so tonight if you hit the $ at the bottom of the comments. And a big shout out to sponsors Geordie Riffs, professional guitar repairs and service, and here based in the Northeast. Give Graham and Natalie a shout for all your guitar needs. 10% off your first setup, 10% off your first repair, and your first lesson free of charge. And I know Natalie's having a real headache at the minute with getting prepped ready for the merchandise. Big hugs to Natalie, because she's having a rough time of it at the minute. Stuff going wrong left, right, and centre. So hopefully it all comes good, and we just take your time with the merch, Natalie. There's no rush, even though Danielle's sort of desperate to get our stuff.
Yeah, I want a box.
Yeah. Forever Ron, thanks for the $5 super chat. Petition for Danielle to start an ASMR channel.
What is that? An ASMR? What?
It's when you whisper. It's when you do that. You know.
All right, okay. Shall I start being big? So shall I start a bit quiet? A bit quiet at night.
Yeah, imagine you're walking on a beach. The ocean is pelting off your little feet. That type of thing.
Right, okay.
It's to help you go to sleep. Something like that. Scott says, is it true that Joelinton put Dele Alli on his ass in the tunnel, then Wood put him back on the floor once he got up? Listen, I don't think it was as bad as that, and everybody's making. I think there was a scuffle because Dele Alli wasn't. There was a clash between Dele Alli and Joelinton before the end of the game.
He stamped on him.
Yes. And apparently Dele Alli waited in the tunnel for Joelinton, but there was a scuffle. But listen, let's not get into that because it's pointless.
That boy will never change, mine. No, Dele Alli just never change.
He's just a cock
there, didn't we?
Yeah, exactly. Is it true Big Joe put Dele on his arse? It was a scuffle. It was a scuffle. And I've been told it was a scuffle. So by somebody very close to the club and myself. So listen, I'm not going to condone any of that. The fact is, we won the game, and that's what we are.
I condone it.
Tonight.
If he stamped on him,
I
would do the same.
Dele Alli anyway. I would. Exactly. Fair enough. That's fine. We bullied them start to finish. We wanted it more than Everton, and we played them out the park in the second half. Great start of the show with the dinosaur logo. It should have been 5, says Josh. Scouse Mackham tears in my hotel.
There was plenty around.
Oh, God, there was loads of them. I wonder how the Scouse-Mackham Jesus was feeling, Danielle, after the match. You know,
and the Everton toddlers that walked down Strawberry Place,
he
offering
seemed
out
to have
fights to everyone.
Yeah. Well, he was like the Pied Piper, wasn't he? There was him and then just about 25 rats behind him, shouting Everton,
Come on,
this,
mate.
Everton,
Come
that.
on, mate.
Hey, want to check? You know, all of that crap. Well, I'm sorry, Jesus. Well, the Scouse-Mackham Jesus. I don't know what religion he is. Exactly. Michael says, hi, guys. Very annoying that I keep hearing fans saying Joe should be dropped. Yes, he missed 2 chances, but all the other stats in his game were top tier. Absolute baller. Listen, the opportunity he had in the first half when he fell over, if you look closely, his studs got stuck in the ground.
And hit himself in the face.
It wasn't Joelinton's fault. His studs were heavily dug deep into the ground, and unfortunately lost his balance. But that wasn't really his fault. And
if you watch the GIF of it on loop, it gets funnier and funnier every time you watch it.
But it was great to see Fabian Schär come over to him and. You know, just before we had a corner, and it was nice to see Schär getting in there, just saying, "Look, get your head up." You know, it happens to everybody. And and Joe's pointing at his studs, and he's saying, "Get on."
I didn't see that on the TV. We didn't get the camera angle of that. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's what you get when you're at the ground. We saw that it showed us Joe stropping that he'd missed it, but I didn't know that Schär had.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, he went straight over.
Yeah, just after that, Schär came running up to him and. Sort of put his arm around him and said, "Right, come on, you know, just forget it." And you know, and to be fair, he did, because he was awesome after that again. He really just got his head down and started. And I just love the physicality that we're seeing from Joelinton at the minute. It is incredible, Danielle. Just the way he's barging people off the ball, he's getting in players' faces. We never saw this from Joelinton until Eddie Howe arrived, and he just seems to have that aggression, which we're loving to see at the minute.
Because he wasn't playing in the right position, so he was lost. Had no confidence, nothing. And Eddie Howe comes in, and Joelinton's like a phoenix from the flames. Do you know what I mean? He's like rising in this new position, like full of confidence, up for it every single game. You know, and I'm just dead proud of him. I really am. I just think, go on, Joe. Like in the past, like, you know, before Eddie Howe came in and we're under the person that we don't mention, I used to dread seeing his name on the team sheet and think, God, not again. Like, why is he playing him? But now I'm gutted if he's not on the team sheet. So you know, when after Leeds, I was thinking, God, I hope he's fit for Everton. But what a change, and I love it. I'm all about it. Like, long may it continue.
My Man United mate messaged me this morning and said they just put the number 9 the wrong way around on his shirt when we first signed him. He should have been a 6. Yeah, not far wrong that.
Yeah. Dark by Design says, World of Sport TV just posted Dele Alli got put in his arse twice in the tunnel by Joelinton and Chris Wood. I know I've seen Barry's video just before I came on. Listen, it was a scuffle as far as I'm concerned. And like I say, I'm not going to talk about that anyway. I don't want to. I will concentrate on the match. Brian Tweddle, thanks for becoming a new member, matey. Welcome to the Toon Review family. The ref did not give us the handball yesterday. It would have been a huge talking point if we did not win. Listen, I think we would have won. We've won the game. We've won convincingly, to be honest. We could have scored a lot more goals as well.
We could have.
One player who, again, you know, battled back from a well, it wasn't a mistake, but battled back from a little bit of a hiccup was Jamal Lascelles. And again, I've hammered him. I wanted him out the side yesterday. You know, and you know, that own goal was lucky because it just ricocheted off. He couldn't do anything about that. It was cleared off the line and hit him and went in the net. However, 2 minutes later, he's up at the other end. Brilliant, powerful header, rose above everybody else, hit the crossbar, bounced down, in off the Everton defender. It was incredible, but great to see him come back like that, Alex. And you know what? If he continues to improve, the tackles he was putting in the second half, there was one on at Townsend. I mean, God, Townsend's head's still flying around the quayside somewhere. It was unbelievable. But he timed it perfectly. It wasn't a dirty challenge. It was just a really hard tackle. And that's what we saw from Lascelles when he was playing under Rafa. Getting stuck in there, making himself a real menace and a tackling
beast
like that.
Mode.
Yeah, beast mode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. He put himself about. He was dominant in the air. Second half, he let a few balls bounce, but he was better. He was a lot better. I am going to be controversial though, and
Oh,
still
that
point
makes a
out the
change,
fact.
doesn't it?
I'm still going to point out the fact that he didn't step up to the offside trap 3 times in the game. You might have seen it at the grounds when you were there. That Target kept putting his hand up because he was playing the line right, and it wasn't off because Lascelles was the one out of the 4 that wasn't standing in the right place.
Yeah.
So well done to Lascelles for the grind, the tackling, the determination. Great stuff. It is an improvement, but if he can't step up with that offside trap 3 times in a row, well, it wasn't in a row, but 3 times in a game against Villa on Sunday with people like Coutinho passing through the lines, that's quite worrying because Coutinho can play a pass much better than whatever the hell Everton's midfielders were doing.
Villa tonight, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Very good goal.
I don't want to take it away from him. He did amazing to try and redeem himself. He did a lot better. It was a cracking performance in terms of like improvement, but it was just that it was improving on crap. So it improved to good. But we need him to play the offside rule properly because against quality, we're going to get cut open. And Shah's not quick enough. We've seen this before, like last month, 2 months ago, where Shah is having to try and clean up when the ball goes through. There's been quite a lot of that where there's highlights of Shah going, oh crap, he's having to clean up 2 or 3 messes because Lascelles is in the wrong place. And I just don't want to see that against Villa. I want us to ride this high. I mean, if Lascelles starts, good luck to him. Just please keep improving and just watch that bloody line when you look up and down it because it's terrifying.
Yeah, I know that might come though when it was two new fullbacks. You've got to. It takes a bit of time. Forsheezy, thanks for becoming a new member, matey. Welcome to the Toon Review family. Matt Target yesterday came in and looked like he'd been there all his life. I mean, there was he combined well with ASM. Which we know isn't easy to do. He seemed to have an understanding with him very, very quickly. He defended well, Danielle. He just didn't seem to... It didn't faze him at all. He just came in, stepped in to do the job. Disappointing, obviously, he won't play against Villa. I know Louis put in the chat earlier that apparently there was some agreement in his contract that he could play. Premier League rules state that you can't.
Yeah.
So
it's a parent club, isn't it?
It's parent club. So listen, Dan Burn may come in at left back because we know he's played there many times for Brighton. So it's going to be him or Manquillo, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it'll be Manquillo. I don't think it'll be Burn. I don't know. I just feel like yesterday I was really impressed with Target, bearing in mind that there was no kind of fanfare around it. So at the game yesterday, we had Disco Inferno on before the kickoff. Obviously, Burn Baby Burn because it was Dan Burn's.
That was class. That was brilliant.
Yeah, they had Bruno all the way through. Like everyone was screaming for Bruno. There wasn't really a fanfare for Target, but you know what? He just got his head down and just got on with it. And I agree. It was like he'd never not played for Newcastle United. He got what it meant straight away, and then he was in fighting. But I think it'll be Manquillo on Sunday. Interesting.
Jason says Chris Wood gives us an out option and stretches play. We can then press midfield. He's contributing hugely. Again, like I said, he's going to split opinions, and that's fine by me. Everybody will have their opinion about him. Listen. I'm still not sold. If I'm 100% honest, I'm still not sold. However, I'm willing to give him an opportunity to get to know this system inside out and play this system because, you are right, Alex. He does stretch players. He does pull other players away, which certainly freed up ASM a lot more last night.
That comment is correct. We just need him to head a bit more. Like that one header he had, fair enough, he had to generate the power himself, but if he can add a little bit of that on top of what that comment was, then yeah, we just got to step up a bit more offensively. I mean, I missed it a little bit, but to be fair to him, we had a lot of free players in the box last night as a result of people having to mark Chris Wood more because of the danger. So that, Fraser was free, Willock in the second half was free a lot more because people were having to mark Wood because he's a threat aerially. So. But that doesn't get mentioned.
Good point.
You don't mention the space he creates. You just mention the headers that he doesn't score. So, but I'd like him to do more. I agree, but it worked. Let's hope it can keep working.
Yeah, definitely.
Michael Marsden, thanks again for another £100 super chat, buddy. Absolutely top draw again. I mean, there's nothing I can say. You guys, you donators to the channel are just incredible people. So kind and generous.
And it was lovely to meet you last night as well, Michael.
Well, he's put a comment saying, hi, Paul, Danielle and Stato. Danielle, it was nice to meet you and Lee yesterday. Of course, Lee was there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Ginger twat. But it was a good laugh, a really good laugh. And obviously, Michael will be there on Sunday again, and I'll be there. Danielle and Julie's coming up with Dave again. So really looking forward to seeing them. It's going to be a fantastic day on Sunday, and hopefully we get another 3 points. But obviously, we'll be doing a review of that tomorrow night at 8:30. I haven't actually told the guys yet, but there you go. You've been officially told. I haven't done a thumbnail for it yet either, so I'm busy. So that will be on YouTube after the show tonight. I will put that up. So 8:30 tomorrow night will be the match review. Northumberland Geordie says, all right, Paul, my 11-year-old son was talking about the Toon review guy all day of the match. We got to the ground and seen you near the statue, but he was too shy to come and speak. Hopefully next time. Oh, you should have got him to come and say hello. We don't bite. It was... it would be great to meet him. Just tell him to come over and say hello next time. It'll be fab to meet him. Heard from Barry that J7, hopefully Wood felt the same feeling from getting that goal, then it being disallowed, and it spurs him on for future games. If he just it could have been, Alex. It could have been.
I mean, he knew as soon as it hit the back of the net. He was fully aware he was offside. It's just yeah. He was in the right places. It'll come. He's not going to get 20 a season, but you can see why he gets 10 for Burnley, because he puts himself in the right places, and he'll score some goals. As long as if he plays like he did last night, he will score more goals. Well, he will score. Well, he hasn't scored any yet, but he will score goals. He's just got to keep doing that.
Straffy says, hey guys, hope you're all doing well. What a fantastic result, and every player gave 110%, even Lascelles. I think Lascelles knows he's got to step up, and that's why, if he
literally with the offside trap, step up. Well, you're right.
But if he's seeing his manager going out and signing defenders, signing centre backs, and looking for quality centre backs, he'd be thinking, right, I've really got to step my game up here if I want to be part of this transition at Newcastle. And the last couple of games, to be fair to Lascelles, he's done really, really well. One player though that is just simply world class, Kieran Trippier. Now, he is probably the best right back I have ever seen play for Newcastle, apart from Warren Barton, of course. So absolute brilliant, Danielle. The man he reads the game. He's passionate. He's in people's faces. He's vocal. He's everywhere on the pitch, it seems to be. And then the free kick just topped his performance off last night.
Just top class. Like, ever since he's come to Newcastle, you've seen he's been like levels above everybody else, right from the get-go. And last night, he was just absolutely immense. It was amazing to watch him. What a player. I was just so pleased that he got that goal. Obviously, with it being over at the Gallagher and we were in the Leazes, I was like, who's taking it? I couldn't see. But then when I saw it was Trippier, I thought it's got to be. It just has to be. And I think, Paul, you said, didn't you? You could see a gap from where you were in the wall.
Well, where I was sitting in the Leazes end, I thought if he just curls this around the wall,
yeah,
Tyrannosaurus Pickford has no chance of getting it. He will not save it. And he did. He bent the ball, and
what was that wall though? You're right.
Well, it was terrible.
Pickford orchestrated that with the gap. Why did he do that? Like all the commentary was like, "Oh, well, he gave him a target to bend around." Why would you? I don't understand that. Every single commentator. I mean, I'm not a goalkeeper. I'm not a free kick. I've got no idea. But everybody who talked about the free kick said, "Why did you give him a man to help the bend?" Like. It makes no sense.
Yeah,
maybe somebody who knows more about football than me. If you're a goalkeeper or anything, and just please somebody try and explain why he set his wall up like that. I don't get it.
Yeah, but the thing is, last night when Pickford was sort of going to dive for the free kick, it seemed to be in slow motion. Right, it was like Trippier hit the ball, and then it was like silence, and all you could hear was Pickford. And he knew it was past him, and it was in, and the place erupted. It was just perfectly placed, and then obviously the celebrations were bloody unbelievable. I mean, there was limbs everywhere.
There was.
But even coming out the ground last night, walking past the the players' entrance and stuff where you always get held up and there's always a big queue. Everybody's like, Sunderland get battered everywhere they go.
Everywhere they go.
And it was just...
Yeah, it was class.
Hello to all my Mackham friends. The thing is...
And can I just say as well, whoever
the
the idiot on Twitter is saying that all of the Newcastle fans were smashing up the Everton bus with crowbars and bricks. What an absolute ridiculous comment to make.
Yep.
Yeah, we all take crowbars into St. James's Park. Melts. We're all fighting each other outside the ground. That's what
the
it
Everton
was.
fans, some of them Everton fans there last night were there to cause trouble. They tried to do it before the game when they were walking past the Strawberry with, the Scouse Mackham Jesus leading all the little skip rats around past the Strawberry singing Everton, letting blue flares off and everything. But we didn't bite. Newcastle fans didn't bite. We just laughed at them. And you deserve to be laughed at. And then you sort of crawl back off to your little skips in Scouse fucking Mackham land, right? And you're having your little sort of... you're dipping in bins for little bits of bread and that this morning for your breakfast. Tough shit, and then, I don't care. I really, you lot as a football club have gone way down in my estimations.
Absolutely.
Notices that, but
rancid.
Since all this shit kicked off about us getting, the game called off and all the horrible comments from Everton fans, it's been diabolical. And quite frankly, you deserve to go down. Now, John Sinclair, if you're watching, I have a bone to pick with you, my friend.
Same. I have a big bone to pick with you as well.
On his stream earlier tonight, he came out with the words that I would be very disappointed if Everton go down because they're a big club. Now, I'm sorry. I would be absolutely ecstatic. I'd be windmilling up Sacriston Front Street if Everton go down because I don't like them. In fact, I hate them because of what they've been like with us. So I'm sorry. They're not a big club. Liverpool are a big club in Merseyside. Everton are just in the recycling skip, right? They're just nothing.
Correct.
And heading down, which I will find extremely... I won't be disappointed if Everton go down. But then we've had it from all sorts of fans thinking, Newcastle's the richest club in the world. I can't wait for them to go down. We've had it. So why can't we dish it back out? Danielle, say something. Yes.
I was, and then you were kicking off. But yeah, no, I think you're absolutely spot on. I think they were embarrassing themselves yesterday at that game. Absolutely embarrassing themselves. Super Frankie Lampard, and then all went really quiet very quickly, didn't they?
Did you see them at the end when, they were singing Super Frankie Lampard to try and get one over us? And then all of a sudden at the end, they were all like, couldn't wait to sort of do the wanker signs and stuff to the Everton players when they came over to applaud them. I mean, honestly,
appalling that mind.
Absolute skip rats, the lot of them. And I just, Alex, would you be disappointed if Everton were to leave the Premier League?
I have a close cousin who's an Everton fan, and he's firmly against everything that's going on, and he would be frustrated with, especially the violence and their original plan was to try and grow their brand, grow the club, push for Europe, and do what we're doing on essentially. They were trying to they had their own project, and they don't need all this crowbar fighting, swearing nonsense, and they're trying to grow the game. It's about family and branding and bringing in the right players and atmosphere, as we showed last night. It's it's not Millwall in the 70s and 80s. We're not trying to create. It's not about the ultra life. That's not.
Christ, I had 4 and 5-year-olds last night marching along Strawberry Place.
Honestly, man, it was pathetic. The walking around there in the fourth hand clothes and all of that, and the shoes were holes in and shit. Honestly, and they were just trying to pick fights with everybody they could see. But
at the food bank as well, they came over at the food bank.
I know.
I just thought, are you that low?
But there'll be a lot of people that aren't like that who are Everton fans, and it's a shame for them because they will obviously condone that as well. And it's there's a lot of people showing themselves up.
There is a
but
few
they're not too big to go down.
Channel, but they're the only ones with sense. Good point from Bede here, saying Maxi received the ball in dangerous areas as opposed to deeper positions where he is a lot more effective. And I think Matt Targett has to play a big part in that because Matt Targett, as you said before, was pushing out Alex, and he was obviously forcing Maxi to play further up the pitch, and it seemed to work really well. But Joelinton also gave Maxi a lot of help last night. He came over and was working to win the ball back a lot with Maxi, which was, absolutely fantastic to see.
I should have sent you the average positions, Matt, before the stream, but you can literally see the game plan in the average positions of Target was sat sort of left mid to try and clean up if the attack failed, and then you've got Joelinton and Wood sort of on that left side, and the plan was just overload, switch to that side and use Maxi and try and create something. Yeah. And if it didn't, then you try and stretch the opposite side and get Fraser in, which we got a goal from that because everybody was trying to defend on one side and we got Fraser. That is literally the game plan, and that's why they're using Wood like that. It's perfectly orchestrated. He's not been able to do that so far because we haven't had a left back that's been able to do that. We couldn't do it.
Sorry for laughing,
either,
Alex, but Peter's just put a comment on there about Archer's moments last night. If you haven't seen them, go and watch Peter's fan reaction on his channel, and then watch his quick thoughts after the match, because Archer decided to take his top off, and I thought he had a jumper on. He's that hairy. I mean, I thought Richard Keys was a hairy man, but this guy, this guy, else. Unbelievable. I mean, you could actually, he had a mullet on his chest.
I mean, he can grow handlebars in a week, so that doesn't surprise me.
Oh, God, it was just incredible. But
he was on top form last night,
He certainly was. Howe said he was seeing Maxi get better and better. Last night was evidence of that.
Absolutely.
Everton fans online compared him to George Best. Yeah, the normal, decent Everton fans did. And to be fair, Lampard summed it up perfectly, Danielle, when he said about
he's unplayable,
being unplayable. And when he's in that kind of form, he is unplayable. And that just proves, from a Premier League's manager's point of view, when Maxi plays like that, the managers don't have a clue how to play against him.
No. And I think that's the thing, when sometimes when he doesn't really turn up, and you can see straight away that they've worked him out, and you think, oh, for God's sake. But that wasn't the case last night. He was just all over the whole game. Yeah. He was, I think, in the first half, he had us a little bit worried because he went down and then he was just sat there, and I was like, just get up. Like,
that's the one thing that still needs to be eradicated from his game, is when he doesn't get a free kick.
And that little limp, man.
And I did hear you say last night, Alex, about him, he should be a bit more protected by the referees, because I think he goes down to... I agree with that.
I do.
I think that, with the referees, they see these flair players just as if they throw themselves to the floor all the time. Yeah. Maxi was getting pushed all over and dragged all over last night. And
I do agree with you that he shouldn't sit on the floor, though. But
that's the only thing that really annoys me, is that he sits there, he looks at Eddie Howe, and then he puts his hands in the air, and it's like, just get up and get on with it, Maxi, because
Joelinton
you'll get the ball and you'll be able to take it out on the, do something special and take it out on them that way. But Joelinton's eradicated that from his game now. He just gets up and shouts at everybody, and then obviously just manhandles them.
He's terrifying when he gets in those moods.
I bloody love him. I mean, I never ever thought... if I look back at some of my videos from last season, and some of them about Joelinton, Jesus Christ! I mean, and you know what? It was deserved at the time, because he wasn't playing very well. But that could be down to the manager at the time. Obviously, we know that Eddie Howe has done a lot of work, and his coaching staff have done a lot of work with Joe, and it is paying off. But his performances were terrible, and he deserved the stick. He did not. The online stick he got, or the personal abuse, but as a footballer, the stick he gets as a footballer. But you know what? I bloody love him now, because I love him for two reasons. I love him because he's obviously playing a lot better now. He's found a position and he's doing so well. But the other thing I love him for is for bouncing back the way he has. As if to say, right, all the abuse that he got, and everybody gave him it. Every single, well, 98% of Newcastle fans did. There was the odd few that said, give him a chance, he will come good. And he has, to be fair to them. But to bounce back from that kind of stick that he was getting, and it must have been frustrating for him, because obviously he probably knew that there was a better player in there than what the fans were seeing. And to bounce back, Alex, like he has, he deserves so much credit.
Yeah, indeed. He's got to be careful with that temper, though, because I think he should have been sent off last night. Because he stood up, and he told the ref, the ref went to turn away, and he squared up to the ref and shouted F off in his face as loud as he could. That is a red card. He did. He was a cheeky little so-and-so, and he's got to be careful because if he does that to Mike Dean, he'll be down the tunnel in 5 seconds.
Yeah, I know, but
So
to be fair, Alex, a
with
lot
that.
of players tell the referees to F off every game.
Well, the referee last night was an absolute wuss. He bottled it.
He is.
Absolutely bottled it.
He is a wuss.
There were several cases of dissent that were really strong dissent, and he was just, he completely lost control in the final 25 minutes when tackles were flying in, yellows were coming out, people were screaming F off at everybody, at the ref, at the linesman. It didn't matter. The ref completely lost control.
I love it all.
Well, this is what I mean. We're not used to seeing this from Joelinton. It is.
No.
It's.
I love it. I just don't want to see a red. I don't want him to get sent off.
Yeah. I mean,
he's suspended.
I think. I don't know who pulled him away last night from the Dele Alli situation. I can't remember who it was.
I can't remember.
Was it Shelvey that pulled him away? Which is incredible in itself. If it was Shelvey. It might have been Trippier, to be honest, but no, Trippier had gone off. I'm not sure. But listen, one of them got a hold of him and calmed him down. And that's what we want to see, that kind of camaraderie on the pitch, which we haven't been used to, Danielle, for so many years. We've seen a team devoid of any ideas, devoid of any sort of bonding as a team. You know, you can tell that they are a close-knit bunch, and they really, really do. They're starting to believe, I think, in what Eddie Howe's doing. They're all together. You know, they believe in what the manager wants. They're putting it together on the pitch. But it's consistency now we need to see.
Definitely, 100%. I think before that, it was just a team full of individuals, wasn't it? Playing for themselves. Whereas now, we're all together and playing for one cause. That was, so I thought, it was really, sorry, I'm being distracted. Yeah, Paul's just calling you Ginger something, by the way. That's just Lee, by the way.
I gathered that. Tell them to stop interrupting the show.
Stop interrupting the show.
It's unprofessional.
Who got sent off? Somebody got sent off of Villa. He came up to tell us. So
really?
Somebody missing the game.
Centre back suspended for Sunday. Excellent. That's perfect.
Yeah,
Excellent.
That's the breaking news.
Fantastic. Villa got a suspension. That'll do. Matthew says, I wouldn't drop Shelvey. Definitely not. I agree with Alex with Bruno for Shelvey.
I don't want to drop Shelvey.
That's what the
Bruno
opinions are all about. But it is, you're right in what you say. I mean, it's the way we play at the minute is to who fits into the system best.
Because Trippier can do that long ball job now. So with the way he's setting up at the angle with Joelinton, with Wood on the left, Trippier can just play those balls. So, and if people decide to overload Trippier's side, then okay, we've got loads of space on the other one. I don't want to drop Shelvey, but it's the obvious, putting him in for Willock would be, square peg in a round hole because he's not going to play box to box. He'd have to change the whole system and the whole plan. And it was a good plan last night. It worked. The midfield couldn't, we let them have the ball a little bit and then pressured and we were, Richarlison was getting frustrated. We were winning aerial duels. The plan was spot on. So I just want to let Hal do what Hal's going to do because that was a very good plan and it worked. So.
Toon Barmy says, good job. We were closing everything down because our passing, especially that first 30 minutes, was garbage. Imagine the progress we can make with accurate passing. Don't shoot me, just picking. I think you've been a little bit too picky there, to be honest. Yes, the first half an hour wasn't great, but I don't think Everton deserved to go ahead.
They didn't, and I really felt it when that goal went in. I was thinking, that's
they didn't have a shot on target. Not a single one. They went 1-0 up without any shots on target in the first half, which was ridiculous.
By the way, they have got major problems, Everton Football Club, because they are absolutely terrible. They are woeful. And it is going to take a lot for Frank Lampard to turn that team around.
Oh no, he's got a massive job on his hands,
they were just absolute bollocks, by the way.
Frank Lampard needs a bit of a... people say he's just walked into the job. His in-game management yesterday was poor. It was very clear that double pivot, the two midfielders couldn't handle our plan. Fair enough. There was an injury that he had to change.
Yeah, he did lose two players in the first half, which I think threw his tactics kind of out the window. But then when you're thinking you're bringing somebody like Dele Alli on, it just didn't make any difference. I mean, he had a few runs, Dele Alli, but he was always looking to get... I think Dele Alli was more bothered about trying to stir up the Newcastle players than actually concentrating on what...
And get a reaction.
Exactly.
But he can change the instructions. Lampard didn't try to... He didn't see what Howe's plan was and he didn't react to it in instructions. So Lampard's got to take some stick for that. He could have changed things a little bit, whether it's instructions, formations, plans, and defensively, offensively, it didn't improve for Everton. We just got better and they just got worse. So even with their fresh legs, it didn't change anything.
I don't understand what this means. Newcastle.
Newcastle.
It's an Everton fan. He's already stated that earlier, so I'm not sure.
No idea.
Tom says, just seen a clip on Twitter, filmed at full time, 2.5 miles from St James's Park in Gateshead,
cool.
and you can hear the crowd. Amazing.
Brilliant.
It was just absolutely incredible.
It was electric.
I mean, it took me back to the days of the Keegan days and the Robson days. It really did. And if that's what it's like at a relegation threatened team, I mean, can you imagine what that ground would be like on Champions League nights? And if we actually win something,
I know.
It is frightening how people will be partying in Newcastle for like a week solid. They won't go home. We'll be like Everton fans. We'll be homeless. It'd just be absolutely tremendous, and we'd just be dancing everywhere. And oh, Jesus! Well, here's the Everton fan again. Dubai United. Oh dear me! Put some more salt on that steak, mate. Put some more salt on. Forever Ron says you've got a Carmen voice.
Oh, have I?
Yeah, apparently
it's
so.
It's a little bit lower than normal because last night, but thank you though.
Yeah, well, by the way, not all Everton fans are homeless. I just need to point that out. But I was called a homeless peasant by an Everton fan not long ago, and I'm getting my own back.
I'm sure there's a Dele Alli joke in there somewhere.
Somewhere there is, yes.
If we were partying for a week, we would be homeless because we'd all lose our jobs and get nothing. So
that's very, very true. Yeah. Did anybody notice Maxi didn't give the bench the normal 60-minute wave, and one of the best games he's had for us? Yes, and that's what we need to see more of. We were saying that just before. Get up off his ass, and we'll see what happens. Darren says, did Geordie Riffs not do mics, Paul? I'm not sure. I have been in touch with somebody who's actually sorting a mic out for us, so that should be good.
That's good.
They can get mics apparently, but oh God, Cesare says listening to Paul whispering is like a V8 making a Tesla sound. It's just wrong. Love you, buddy.
I was surprised you had a voice today after last night, actually, because you were a bit on the squeaky side last night, weren't you?
Well, gargling Jack Daniels works, Danielle.
Ah, fair enough.
Yeah, if you've got a sore throat, just a neat Jack Daniels, gargle it for around half an hour, and then
job's a good one.
You wake up next morning, your throat is suddenly, you have a headache, but your throat is suddenly better. So it's great.
That's good then.
It's great. Evening, Paul, Danielle, and Toon Review Stato. What a class win last night. Proud of the lads and Eddie. Paul, you got to do the Pickford claw. Daniil says, glad we didn't buy Ali or loan him. Yeah.
Got it there.
Players sticking together. Brighton pointed out in their statement the terms in Ashworth's contract mean he must wait until the end of the season before taking up a new position. Yeah, which is why I said when I did my video, there was some channels already saying, oh, done deal. It's not a done deal. How can it be a done deal?
I have seen some conspiracies that he might be going to Man United.
Well, I've seen that as well. But listen, he is front runner. We have interviewed him. There's no doubt about that. Talks have taken place. Now, whether he comes in. If he comes in and he signs, that's a done deal, people. It is not a done deal until they've signed for the football club. I'm sick of seeing all these people putting done deal and sparkling lights and if to say, this is fantastic. They're not done deals. Anyway, rant over. Mini rant. Please update Spotify, Paul. I will, Tony. This show will be going on Spotify straight afterwards, so that will be sorted. Lascelles won't get anywhere near Coutinho. Well, we'll just have to wait and see.
I'm worried about Coutinho getting near Lascelles. That's the issue.
Yeah. Listen, it doesn't matter. We're going to win. Ratchet says, I want us to defeat Villa no matter what. Dean and Stevie G would have their egos melted down, especially the way they mocked us while joining Villa. Villa is not a bigger club. It's time we show them. That's a fighting spirit, Ratchet. Oh, come on. The guy with the T-Rex outfit deserves a pint off everyone. That totally rattled baby arms. It did.
Oh, it was amazing.
Because it certainly rattled him when he came on for the match, because he was drinking water and he was just soaking up all the abuse like he does, the big-headed bastard. And then all of a sudden, he spotted the T-Rex, and you could tell he spotted it because he just like, oh my God. And he was clearly rattled because some of his goal kicks were awful. And that one in the second half, by the way, when he sliced the goal kick, then the Everton defender sliced the volley and it spun right for a corner. Oh, that left back that came on for Everton yesterday, he is one of the worst players I've ever seen in the Premier League. I mean, he couldn't move. He couldn't kick a football. And I just thought, bloody hell, just give the ball to Fraser
left back in Everton,
and run at him.
Playing left back.
Oh, just unbelievable, man.
I tell you what, I think that T-Rex guy might, or lady, they might be a viewer. You never know, because we did have this conversation recently that somebody should go up in a T-Rex outfit. So I wonder if it's a coincidence or whether they watch the channel. You never know.
Andrew says Villa are leaking goals. We are coming for him this weekend. What's the score in that game? It was 3.
No idea.
Is it 3-2 Villa? I'm not sure. Andrew says he's watching Villa now. We will get goals against them, no bother.
3-3.
Is it 3-3 against Leeds?
Oh no, is that aggregate? What am I looking at?
Aggregate?
Premier League. Sorry, FA Cup flashed up on my screen for no reason. Confused me. Yeah, 3-3. It was 3-2 at half time.
Man, bloody tastic.
Jesus, Fonso with 2 yellows.
Yeah, well, he's not playing on Sunday. You know, as Gary Barlow would say, that's absolutely fantastic. Well, that could be Liam Gallagher, actually. I don't know what we're here with.
I was going to say.
I don't know what the hell just came out my mouth there, but never mind. I'm not worried about Norwich result or Burnley, etc. If we play like that week in, week out, we will be rocking up the league. Rocking all over the league. And I like it. You could go on with that song, definitely. We should play that at the end of the game. We have Tino Asprilla's brother here. It's so good to have hope and optimism with our club again. We've earned it. Happy times to come. Kari, thanks for the 50 Norwegian krona. Danielle, you have a nice smile, and Paul and Alex are good boys.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you.
I don't think I've been called a good boy for a long time, apart from Susan. No. Evening, Susan.
Oh, God.
I told her I
was gargling that whiskey again.
Yeah, I thought I was going to embarrass her again tonight, but she didn't think I would. But there you go, I've done it. I always get help off the comments to be able to achieve such things. Speaking of nutcases, Brian Johnson, hope you're well, Bri. Hi, Danielle, Paul, and Alice. Great show, and Trippier is a ledge. Okay, Lee, mate. Yeah, you'll see that at some point. We won't sell Big Joe to another Premier League side. Would be Italy. We're not selling Big Joe. What's this talk of selling bloody Big Joe? It's not happening, man.
It's not for sale.
Stiff Gator says, I can't wait to see a stadium full of dinosaurs next time Pickford comes to St. James's. Barbara, I think we should go. I think we should be getting that young lad ready to start in the first team. I'm not sure. I mean, Alex, I think it's a bit early for him. Maybe he's on the bench. Get him on the bench a few times.
Yeah, exactly what you said.
It's going to be a bit tough, isn't it?
He's never played senior football before. He's playing against boys. He's doing amazing, fair enough. But the Premier League is tougher than it's ever been right now. I understand that at the bottom of the table, most of us have been crap this year. But, look at West Ham, who we play soon, and Villa, and look how strong their sides are. It is no joke in the Premier League anymore. The games are so tough. Winning any game is tough. And it's too early for the young lad. We've got to, I would agree, keep him on the bench when possible. And if we go 2-3-0 up in a game, or we've got some comfort, then bring him on, give him some minutes. If we were still in the FA Cup, maybe we could have tried him, but obviously that's not an option anymore. Gale was on the bench yesterday, wasn't he? So.
Yeah, Foxy makes a good point in there. If it wasn't for Lascelles, Shaw would have been sent off as last man with his awful tackle on Richarlison.
But that was from a handball that didn't get blown for. That wasn't even his fault. There was a clear handball that didn't get blown.
I know that.
We were out of position for that. So,
but it was really funny because Shah made absolutely zero attempt to get the ball. He didn't have any. He just got up and took the yellow card
just went
because
in, didn't he?
he just wanted to take Richarlison to the cleaners, and he did it. It was.
Do it.
I mean, I bloody loved it.
I loved it too.
I'm glad he didn't obviously get sent off, but there was no way any attempt to win the ball. The ball was like 5 miles up Westgate Road somewhere, but
he hates him.
Oh.
After the game, he posted a tweet of a picture of him out jumping Richarlison by about 9 feet. He hates him, so I don't know why, but it's if you go and check Shah's Twitter, he literally Richarlison's on the floor and Shah's jumped about 3 or 4 feet up, and he's I don't know what he's got against Richarlison, but yeah, he just wanted to take him out.
You're welcome, Paul, you legend. Oh, thank you very much. Danielle, did you see Dan Burn when he was warming up and he was doing his jumps, practicing his headers? I mean, Christ almighty, he nearly hit the floodlights.
He did. Oh my God, the height that guy can get to. Blooming heck. What a reception for him, though. He loved it.
It was, and he'd have loved that. I mean, I know he didn't get on, but when he came on to warm up, I mean, the ovation was incredible. And as a Newcastle fan, playing, putting the Newcastle shirt on, and actually even just going out to warm up and getting an applause like that must have been a real buzz for him. And
it would have been.
He is going to be some threat when he does. He's going to. Guess what? My mic's just gone.
I thought so. Bless him. What I really liked though was Dan Burn. When he was warming up on the side and Lascelles went in with that sliding tackle he just went in beast mode, and Dan Burn was on the side celebrating the fact that Lascelles had got in. He was like, yes.
That's such a pain in the arse, by the way. Oh, I hate this microphone with such a passion. It's going out the window.
We didn't see Burn much on the camera. They showed Bruno a few times as the crowd was saying Bruno. They kept showing, but they didn't really. They showed Burn once, I think. So.
The thing is with I mean, it's just the camaraderie that seems to be there. Even the substitutes who didn't get on the pitch were absolutely incredible. Just and I just had to laugh at Bruno when he was looking over. He was looking over at the bench, thinking, "Please, just put me on. I just want to be on for 1 minute." And I think Eddie Howe was probably saving Bruno for Sunday. Get a few more training sessions in, and. If he had to come on earlier, he would have, but he was always going to bring him on towards the end of the match to get that kind of welcome. It was like a personal welcome to Newcastle United, really, wasn't it? It was just unbelievable. Rumours from Bazza earlier that there was a tunnel bust. Listen, I'm not bothered about a tunnel bust. I couldn't really give a toss about Dele Alli. And, if he was put on his arse twice, then fair enough. I find that quite funny. But
he must have been stand for quite a while up that tunnel, though, because Joelinton was one of the last ones off.
He was indeed, yeah. So, listen, I'm not bothered. I'm really not bothered. If there was a scuffle, there was a scuffle. I don't think it's like, oh my God, it's massive news. There was a scuffle in the tunnel. It happens all the time anyway. But if he was put on his ass twice, then that's great. But I don't think it's like news at 10 shit. You know what I mean? Stiff Gator says, look forward to seeing Dan Burn in the team. Aerial threat with Trippier delivery will be incredible. Apparently Coutinho's injured. Dark by Design says that's what happens when you buy cheap. Listen, I've got a bloody blue Yeti. It wasn't cheap, sunshine.
Have you had it very long though?
Yeah, I've had it quite a while now. Yeah.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
It used to be hidden, you see, until I got me boom arm, which is a lot easier if it's on the boom. But CFC Florida, $20. Thank you very much. It's for a mic donation.
Oh, bless him.
Thanks very much. Right, we'll come to the end of the show. So what we'll do is we'll go through player ratings quickly. And we'll have a talk about that. Billy Trey's joining us. Tripp's weaker foot is better than most people's strongest foot. That free kick was immense, and he is absolutely the best right back we've had at the club in my 48 years of supporting. Wow. So there you go. I mean, it's let's say no more.
Right now in the table as well, that Brentford losing to City just now, they've played 24 matches, and we've only played 22. So we got 2 games on Brentford. Ooh. They are slowly slipping down that table.
Yeah, and a lot of people have mentioned them sliding into trouble, which is interesting. They are panicking a little bit, and I think I wonder if Christian Eriksen started for them tonight.
Oh, I don't know.
I can have a very, very quick look. He did not start for them. Was he on the bench? No, I don't think he's ready.
Yeah.
He's missing players. Christian Eriksen doubtful. I think they said the manager said in an interview it's going to take a few weeks just to be very. I think they're being careful so it's not a PR disaster if he has a problem.
Good point.
Yeah, sure.
The big right hand says the rants have bust the mic. Well, to be fair, the mic has took a lot of punishment since I have bought it. So there may be internal wiring gone a bit crazy. Apparently, West Brom are losing. Is that right?
Yes, it was earlier. And I think we're down to 10 men as well.
Oh dear, this week just gets better, doesn't it?
And Norwich have drawn with Crystal Palace.
Wow,
1-1.
I'd probably take that result, to be honest.
Point for Norwich.
Jason says Everton isn't even a town; it's a street in Liverpool. Class, Jason. Class.
Did you see they sprayed a mural on a wall of Van der Beek?
Yeah, absolutely pathetic. Oh man, they were shouting his name towards the end of the warm up, and then when he was warming up, and I mean, what did he actually do when he came on? Did he actually do anything? Because
lots of sideways passing. I mean, to be fair to him, he had the Shelvey problem of he kept looking up and there was no runners, so he kept passing it sideways. That team is just rotten. They don't know what they're doing.
I feel nothing for him. I mean, I'm not going to Newcastle because I don't want to be in a relegation battle. Look,
I
want now sunshine.
Yeah, I want them to go down, and Pickford can go down to the Championship. And imagine that conversation about who's going to be England #1 at the World Cup if Pickford's taken Everton down. Imagine that for Southgate.
Yeah, definitely. Bruno SM, I can see something happening. Bruce Ball, welcome to hell, West Brom fans. It'd be interesting to see what they say.
He's just getting started as well. Imagine.
Yeah. Chloe says on late tonight. What an amazing match it was last night. Yeah. Julie says Paul rant never. We'd never change him. Oh, thanks, Jules. Love your dots. Coutinho and Buendia off injured and Constance sent off.
Well, thank God for that.
Ooh, interesting.
It's the two best players and one of their best centre backs. So,
love to see.
We have some salt. Newcastle playing Championship football next season. Funny, you don't give a name or a profile picture.
Okay, unknown.
Unknown. Oh my goodness, how much you've darkened my heart.
I think that needs to call for another Jordan Pickford claw moment.
It's probably Jordan Pickford himself, but he's wrote that message at the start of the show. So it's took him an hour and 8 minutes to write it because of his little hands. He can't reach the keys.
His claws.
You know what I mean?
We're not even in the relegation zone anymore, so I don't know why people are still arcing on about it.
Exactly. We'll see. Whoever you are, unknown, you have darkened my heart. I'm not going to sleep tonight through that comment. My heart is bleeding. I can feel it. Danielle. It's ending. That comment is, I'm not going to be able to sleep. Take your face for a shit, sunshine. Steve says the next team to us who won their last 2 games is Wolves. Was the mural of Donny on a bench sitting next to Ali in his homeless get-up?
I mean, Ali was on the same mural. They sprayed a whole wall.
They love the spray paint, don't they?
Well, they do.
I mean, what's that about?
Well, it's because that's all they've got in their lives. It's probably all the ranting, obviously talking about my microphone. Rettingale goes back to West Brom and Bruce in the summer, given he was his favourite player that he never played. I know. I mean, I love it when Dwight Gale comes on to warm up. He runs down, up and down, thinking, "You're not getting on, son. You're just not getting on. It doesn't matter what happens. We'd
rather substitute the kit man on before Gale.
Oh God, without a shadow of a doubt, he's
this season.
And you know what? He should have gone. He should have gone in January. He should have gone out on loan. If he had any aspirations to be a footballer anymore, he would have gone out on loan.
3-year contract.
Yeah, but that's the problem. He's happy just to collect his money. Unknown is back again. Laugh all you want, pal.
We're not the ones with a fake name.
Yeah, exactly. Please take your face for a shit and enjoy it. Don't mention anything bad about Bruce because we're not allowed to be horrible about Bruce. That's very true. My God, TalkSport will hammer us.
Speaking of TalkSport. Simon Jordan. I tell you something. I don't know who you're calling a moron, right? But the only moron is you. Because seriously, he needs to get over what kind of problem he has with us and Amanda Staveley and whatever else, because I've never seen anything so, like, I mean, I have, because he's an absolute rancid human being, but he said this morning, he's still sticking to it that Kieran Trippier's here for the money, and that we're all a bunch of morons. Says King Moron. His career is deader than a dead thing in dead.
He lied. He said that we misquoted him, and he said it was a contributing factor. And I went back and watched his other video. He didn't say that, so he's a liar. Not only is he wrong, he's a liar. So
he's a liar. He's a liar, and calling us fans morons is
it's on video. It's online, so he can't.
Disgusting.
His phrase is you can't defend the indefensible, and you lied, mate. It's on camera, so shut up.
I've messaged Simon Jordan numerous times to come on this show and have an adult conversation. I've promised him I won't lose my temper or be disrespectful, and he won't. He's a bottling little shit. He has replied and says that he doesn't do podcasts, but you know he's a bottling bastard.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned, if you call us morons, come on this show, Simon Jordan, and prove how we are morons. Prove it that you're not a moron. And give me a valid point as to why Newcastle fans are morons, because everything you talk is bullshit, my friend. Absolute bullshit. Jesuit says, to be fair, he's not a coward. He gave his club name. Everton is known as unknown.
Yes,
well done, Jesuit. Matty Cash, Concert, and Coutinho may be out for Sunday. Coutinho was so dangerous tonight, scored one, assisted twice yet, but he could be injured, which is interesting. I'm not going to talk about Simon Jordan anymore because he's just a prick.
We've done it.
Weren't we supposed to be doing player ratings?
Yes, that's right, Alex. We were. Thank you for hosting the show. Here we go. Right. We'll start off in goal. Alex, you can have the first one where you can have Mr. Dubes.
Danielle always goes first, though. I can go first if you want me to.
Go for it.
It's your turn tonight.
Dubravka can have a 7 because he didn't do anything wrong. Apart from Barry last night picking up on his first goal kick that went out for a throw, but it was the only misplaced kick. Yeah. But obviously people fixated on that. No, he was fine. He was solid. I'll give him a 7. He didn't have that much to do, which is testament to how the lads played. So,
yeah. Interesting. Alex keeping it together. What about me and Danny? We haven't lost it tonight.
We lost it last night, but not tonight.
Yeah. Right, Danielle, you can have Mr. Trippier.
10.
10 straight away.
10.
I actually agree with that. Absolutely fantastic. I'll go for the left back. Target. I'm going to give him an 8. I thought it was an absolutely fantastic debut. Nothing seemed to phase him last night. Sonia says, Paul, your words on ASM. What do you think? It's just sprung out of my screen there. Paul, your words on ASM. What do you think? My opinion, definitely man of the match. He played a lot better on sharing the ball yesterday's game. Made my night. Yeah, Sonia, he did. He was absolutely out. He was unplayable last night, and that's what we want to see from him going forward. Is just playing like that week in, week out, just terrorizing defenders. And if he keeps going, then brilliant. Ellis says, my comment is never read out. Well, there you go. It's read out now. I can't read every comment out, Ellis. Unfortunately, I just can't. So it's impossible when you've got 900 people watching a show and a lot of commenting. It's impossible. Otherwise, I'd just be reading comments out and there'd be no topics to talk about on the show.
No.
Right, back to you, Alex. We'll go for Jamal Lascelles.
Oh, I'll give him a 7, and it's only a 7 because of getting. Well, he didn't get the goal, but he made the goal, and he was good in the air, good with his tackles. But he's not getting any higher than that because of his letting balls bounce in and around our box and the offside line. So he can have a 7. He did okay.
Cool. Danielle, Fabian Schär.
I would give him an 8.5.
No, we can't give halves, Danielle.
Why?
Because I'm hosting and I say you can't.
Oh.
We'll do it out of 100 and then he can say 85.
Yeah.
No, we're going out of 10, Alex. Shut up.
I'm going to say 9 then. I'm going to say 9. I'm going to go up rather than go down. I thought you had a really good game. I liked the fact that you looked after Joe.
Yeah.
I loved that. I just love to see it because he was so like having a go at himself, and it's not very nice to see. So I really loved that. I thought throughout the whole game, he was always my preferred left back anyway, or centre back, sorry. So, I thought he had a cracking game, so definitely 9 for me.
Ellis says, I put a really interesting comment about dribbling Ronaldo, Messi, etc. compared to ASM, and it wasn't read out. Oh, really? I mean, if you'd seen how many comments that I do get, Ellis, you'd understand.
Sometimes it's like so many before the show even starts, though.
Yeah, I mean, tonight I counted 67 comments before I'd even started the show. Where do you go with that?
Love it.
Anyway, Josh, thanks for the £4.49 super chat, matey. There's no comment with it, but thank you for your donation to the channel. Where we at now? I'll go for it's my go. Is it my go? Or is it Danielle's?
No, I've just been.
I think it's yours because I did Lascelles, didn't I?
Right. Well, I'll go Joelinton, and I'm going to give him an 8. It could have been higher if he'd scored a goal, but the unfortunate studs getting stuck and stuff like that, and then the long-legged short arms.
You know what? He'll get his goal.
He will. Of course, he will.
Mm-hmm.
But listen, he could have scored. Pickford made a save with his giant long legs, and his little arms couldn't get there, so it could have hit him in his massively basketball-headed fucking heed. But never mind. The quiff was shocking, by the way. But listen, I'm going a straight 8 for Joelinton. I think he deserves that. Right, Alex, moving across, we'll go with John Joe Shelvey.
That's a tough one. We can't do halves. You see, I think he's better than a 7, but he doesn't quite deserve an 8. I'll give him an 8. I'll go up. It's not his fault. It's just his build. But 70-ish minutes, they were starting to kind of skip past him a little bit in midfield, and I was concerned. That's when the fans did start I think it was before we got the third goal. Some of the fans were chanting Bruno because Shelvey was a little tired. But again, I love his improvements, and he played brilliantly last night. He was marshalling. In the first 10 or 15 minutes, he was tracking back. He was wide covering. He was really putting himself about. His fitness has improved a lot, but he definitely overexerted himself because on 70-ish minutes, he was knackered. So I'll give him an 8, but that is a problem because he can't do that against every team. He can't die at 70 minutes.
Yeah. Ellis, there is his comment about the dribble. It's quite interesting, actually. Most successful dribbles in the last 7 games: Ronaldo 16, Mohamed Salah 11, Messi 9, and ASM did 10 in one match. That's that's pretty interesting.
Well, Salah's not been here for the last 7 games, so I'm not sure where that's come from.
I don't care about Mohamed Salah and his crazy hairstyle, but that's good.
He was in Africa, so
yes, but we're talking positive about ASM. Let me have that moment, Alex, please.
Bless him.
I get hammered for not giving him any credit. I'm trying to big the man up here, and you scout me down.
Well, it was the
give me moment,
not yourself.
Oh, Jesus. Sometimes, Alex, stats are shit. Right, but let me have me moment. I love you, Alex.
Okay?
Right, Cesare says there are nearly 1,000 watches, mate. That makes it on average 10,000 comments. Paul doesn't always read all my comments, and I'm funny. Interesting, Cesare. You blow your own trumpet there, mate. Ellis says, I know I'm just an attention seeker tonight. Indeed. I did read the dribbling comment. The whole team was fantastic last night, and the fans were amazing. Thank you, Eddie. Alex, any words for Eddie Howe? Any, would you like to say anything to Eddie, seeing as he's in the house?
I mean, he shut all of us up, didn't he? Because there wasn't a soul. But before kickoff, every single one of us were fuming at that lineup, and it worked. The selection worked. The game plan worked. I mean, he's 13 points from 11 games now. He's getting more than a point a game. He's doing a good job. He's changed everything from top to bottom, and he's only been there 11 matches. Yeah. So I feel like we just need to start backing him a bit more because I've questioned him as well. And he's normally right. The only times he's been wrong are things that were out of his control, such as Clark getting sent off and stuff. He can't control that. But when he's got the reins, he normally makes the right call. So I feel from this match on, I'm going to try and have a little bit more faith. Because if he's picked somebody, it's for a reason, as evidenced by that incredible game plan last night with how he was playing the team.
The thing is, he got wiped out as well, didn't he, in the first half?
Oh, yeah.
Bloody hell.
Who was that again? Was
it
it Coleman? I think it was Coleman wiped him out.
Yeah.
And everybody was saying, if it was Pardew, that'd have been a different scrap.
Yeah. Royce has a new T-shirt, Paul. 3-1. Shove that up your scouse arse. Yeah, definitely. Right, where are we up to on player ratings? You've just done.
I think I'm Willock.
You've got Willock, Danielle.
Daniel Willock.
Oh. So I'm going to give him a 7. And the reason I'm going to give him a 7 is an encouraging 7 because the first half he was really worried, and I thought, oh no, like his confidence is shot. He's all over the place, doesn't really know what he's doing. And then second half he came out and just got going, and I loved it. So I would like to see that continue, and I would like for his confidence to continue to grow. And I think he's worthy of a 7.
Yeah, guys, we are 22 away from 9,000. Getting closer. Right, the front three. I'll start with Saint-Maximin. And I'm going to... I think he's done enough for me to get a 6. That's a joke, by the way, because I'm just waiting for everyone to shut me down. I'm going to give Maxi a 9 because he was just... I don't think he was a 10. Had he scored a goal, I would have given him a 10, definitely. Listen, he was a 9 all day long. And if he can keep getting 9s for me, then he becomes one of the best players that we have, undoubtedly. I think he'd be up there. And that's what we want to see from Maxi is getting to that level. You mentioned the Ballon d'Or comment before, Alex, and we all laughed at that. But listen, this guy is still young enough to improve. He's got to be he's got to be a consistent 8, 9, and 10s every game if he wants to be that special player.
I think he gets it because at the end of the game, he was leading the Hey Jude song, wasn't he? He was leading.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
You know, and I just thought he gets it. He was singing along with it, and I just thought,
and that is why these PSG comments are nonsense because he gets it. It's not his employer. It's more than that.
Yeah.
But can I just say something, Paul, about Maxi?
Yeah.
I feel like other players influenced his rating. If 2 or 3 people would have put their chances away and he suddenly sat on 3 assists, he gets a 10. And that's not in his control, is it? Which is really weird because I feel like he could have got easy man of the match and a 10 if other players could score their goals when they should. Yeah, which is a really strange.
But you could say that about a striker though, Alex. If a striker, doesn't get the ammunition and stuff like that,
that's true.
I would love to give Maxi a 10. I think just a goal would have finished his performance off last night. And would have made it the all round. Listen, he was brilliant. He was superb, and I'm not taking that away from him. This is the Maxi that I love to watch.
I agree with the 9, but I think he could have got a 10 without doing anything else.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But
9,
listen,
I agree.
That's the kind of Maxi we want to see week in, week out in a black and white shirt. Because if we see that every week, or listen, if he plays for 70 minutes like that, I'm happy with that.
I think we can see better than that, to be fair. With Bruno on the pitch, he gets even more space and time. We get more possession.
Good point.
I think he could do more, potentially.
Yeah. Well, we will see if that comes to fruition when Bruno, starts. Sonia says, Paul, is that actually the Eddie Howe? It is, Sonia. He's a very avid watcher of the Toon Review. And he does like to put a few comments in just to settle our nerves from time to time and know that he's working on everything. Dominic says, Trippier was my man of the match due to his work both on and off the ball, all-round play and off the ball, organising others by leading by example. He certainly did that. He was absolutely incredible, to be honest. Right, next one is, I'm going to give you Fraser, Alex.
Interesting. I'll give him an 8.
Yeah.
I feel like you can't give him a 9 because Maxi's on the 9, but he gets an 8 for the goal, for his movement, his work rate. I think it amplifies him a little bit having Trippier there. It makes Fraser look a little bit better, but not to take anything away from him. He's back to kind of where where he looked when he was at Bournemouth, his low centre of gravity, his fitness, his speed, he looks a lot better. He looks very, very sharp. He was making runs. He was passionate. He got the goal because he mentioned in his interview, his post-match, he listed about 4 or 5 coaches in that interview. And he went, we've been working together about standing in the goal, getting in the right position, standing in the right places. And he's trying, he's learning, he's improving. And massive hats off to him for that. Because ultimately, no disrespect to him, but we are probably going to bring in a superstar right winger at some point, because if we've got Maxi left and another superstar the other side, that'll be ridiculous. But he did amazing, so he gets an 8.
Okay. And Danielle, Chris Wood.
Oh, don't want to be too harsh on him because I think he played okay yesterday. I don't think he was a world beater, but I think he was causing our defenders some problems at times. 7.
I think that's fair.
Do you think that's fair?
Yeah.
I just want him to be better, and I want him to continue to improve, and I want him to get his goal. So I don't want to be too harsh and seem like I'm deliberately marking someone down, because I'm not.
That's fair enough.
I just
7's
think
still a good rating.
Yeah, it is.
It's just everybody else, like people like Maxi and Trippier, just did so well. It makes the 7 look bad, but 7's fine.
But that's fine. I mean, substitute-wise, Murphy came on. For me, Murphy gets a 7. I thought he played well when he came on. He hit the post. That would have been brilliant for him to score. The other subs that came on, I'm trying to remember who came on for who.
Manquillo for Trippier later on as well.
Yeah, I think it was too late really to give them any marks. And Bruno, Bruno gets a 10 simply because of the back.
Bruno gets an 11.
He wasn't on the pitch long enough, to be honest. What are we going on with Eddie Howe then? To come to a group decision on Eddie Howe. I think he got a tactic spot on last night. I really do.
I'll give him a 10.
Proved me wrong from the start, because I was fuming when I seen Lascelles. So, I agree.
He held his nerve against the entire city being angry with that starting lineup. And he held his nerve against the calls for the substitutions. He didn't fall to the pressure. He made the subs he wanted on the times he wanted. And he
made us nervous in his post-match comments. So when he said, Longstaff's unlucky not to be in the team. And I thought, God.
Did he say that?
I hope he stays unlucky.
Yeah, hopefully stays unlucky. Kath says, I love Charlotte Trippier's Insta posts from arriving on Tyneside, but especially from the box during the match. Nearly lost her phone when a man scored.
Oh, that's lovely, isn't it?
And I think, the passion he shows just puts that idiot knobhead.
That was crazy. My dog was running around the apartment barking. It was nuts.
But Simon Jordan saying he always just come for the money and all this crap. The passion he shows for our football club. I don't give a toss how much money he is earning. As long as he keeps playing like he is for Newcastle United, I really don't care how much he earns. But anyway, we've come to the end of the review. Thank you to everybody for joining in the show tonight in the comments. Thank you to everybody that super chatted. You are all absolute legends. Thank you so much. Thank you to the mods behind the scenes who have been working tirelessly when it's busy like this. You deserve medals of the size of frying pans, guys. So thank you very much to the mods backstage. And also thank you to Danielle and Alex. If you have enjoyed the show, please don't forget to hit that like button. And if you haven't already, please do consider subscribing to the channel. We are so close to that 9,000. Hopefully by tomorrow night, we may well be touching on it, which will be great if we can celebrate the 9,000 live on the show, or even before we actually go live. That would be fantastic. So please do share and pass the channel on to everybody, and hopefully we'll get more subscribers through the door, so to speak. Also, you can become a member of the Toon Review if you do hit the join button, or the link is in the description to join and become a member. We are going to be starting to do member giveaways very, very shortly, with some of the merchandise up for prizes and stuff like that, as well as other things that I'm working on. So thank you for all the members for being so patient with that. We will be doing member giveaways very shortly. And finally, thank you to Geordie Riffs for their continued support of the channel and sponsoring the channel, professional guitar repairs and servicing. Give Graham and Natalie a shout for 10% off your first setup or repair. and also your first guitar lesson free. They are on, they do have a website, which is linked below in the description, and you can catch them on Facebook and Twitter as well. We are back tomorrow night, as I say, 8:30 tomorrow night with the Newcastle Villa preview. I know there's been a few comments in there tonight asking what we think is going to be the starting lineup, etc. We'll discuss that tomorrow night on the preview show. And then obviously Sunday, it's the big game again. So join us tomorrow night at 8:30 where we will go through what we think will happen. No doubt Alex will have his stats of previous meetings and stuff like that. So we're looking forward to that. We'll have a great show again. So catch us tomorrow, 8:30, live on this channel. Till then, guys, good night. Stay safe.
Bye, guys.